ASMR Bo. I think I got that right this time. And I'm actually an author. I've actually published one book, and I put a lot of thought and effort into the things that I write, and I totally didn't half-ass it, and I totally didn't publish a book because I thought it would be funny if people bought a book that I wrote while I was either drunk or half asleep. So the name of the book is the Detective the Detective James series, Volume 1. See, that's my name. So you know that I'm not lying to you. And yeah, it's a book that has 5 stories in it, and if you care to read it, you can buy it off of Amazon. So let me just open up to one of the stories here that I'm going to read to you. Um, let's see here. I didn't put a table of contents into it, so give me a second. Maybe some of you might like the sound of pages flipping, but the name of this story is it's the third story in the book, and this story is called Magnum Enforcer. And well, the Detective James series is of course about a detective that lives in Los Angeles, and yeah. So if you don't understand what's going on, it's okay. Uh, this video is just meant to help you relax. Uh, so yeah, let me go ahead and get started. Magnum Enforcer. I got you something for your birthday, Izzy said as she handed me an oak case. Oh, Izzy, you shouldn't have, I replied. I opened the case, and inside was a Corth 357 Magnum. How did you know? I asked. I've been reading your journals. As you know, I've been obsessed with you these last few weeks. Oh, please, James, bend me over your desk and have your way with me. I'd do anything for you. You're my secretary. You should know by now that I don't mix business with pleasure. Moments later, Sergeant L.P. Anderson of the LAPD came into the office. His tie was undone. He was holding a cup of coffee, and he was absolutely chain-smoking. You look like dog shit, LP, I said. Can you give me a moment alone with you, James? So I asked Izzy to leave the office. When she shut the door, LP lit up another cigarette. The bodies of 20 dead prostitutes showed up in Griffith Park last week, he said. The streets are getting out of hand, James. And I said, I believe the correct term is ladies of the night, LP. There's a killer on the loose, LP continued. He's been toying with us. He left a note on one of the bodies. LP handed me a note, and I read it over. This guy's sick and racist, I said. Have any of the bodies been Vietnamese? That's the thing. They've all been white women. I don't know why this guy hates the Vietnamese. So I lit up a cigarette of my own and pulled out a bottle of bourbon. Care for a shot? I asked. I stalled off for a good de-water on my last case. Please, said LP. I poured some into his coffee cup. So what do you want me to do? I asked. I'm investigating. Correction. read past as a side note, I don't know how to read past a first grade level because I had to drop out of school in the first grade to help run the family business. So forgive me if I read a little slow. I'm asking you on behalf of the LAPD to assist with the investigation. Our detectives are overworked. We need a fresh set of eyes to look over the evidence. There's something that we're missing, and you know these streets better than anyone. So I poured the bourbon into my flask. You can count on me, LB. We have a meeting with the mayor tomorrow. He doesn't want the information to leak out to the public. He's also questioning our competence regarding the case. So I want you to be there to help put his mind at ease. You got it, I said. So LB stood up, and one other thing he said. We're staging a stakeout in Culver City next week. We think we might have a lead. Bring all the protection you need. We might run into some trouble. So I lifted my brand new 357 Magnum. Don't worry, I said. I've been itching to try this thing out. Izzy got it for my birthday. Happy 50th birthday, LB replied. 50th? I'm 32. Chapter 2. Tony, how have you been, you useless sack of shit? How's it been hanging, James? Tony responded. I hadn't been to Tony's off 4th in weeks. He brought me a Philly cheesesteak with extra grease. I told him it was my birthday, and I was ready for an early grave. So we bantered a bit before something caught his eye. Oh hell, James, he said. It looks like the pawn shop next door is getting robbed. Should I call the police? I pulled out my 357 Magnum. Don't lift a finger, you fat, stupid motherfucker, I said. I walked outside and the robbers were loading merchandise into the trunk of their Pontiac. Freeze, assholes, I yelled. They looked up and one of them fired a 12 gauge. The shrapnel grazed my right arm, but I managed to unleash my 357, instantly killing 2 of them. The last one ran off. I fired off another round, blasting a hole in his leg. As he bled out, I walked up to him and lifted my gun. Now I know what you're thinking, I said. Did I fire 8 shots, or only 7? You shot 3, the man said. Please don't shoot me again, he begged. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure I shot 7. Please, sir, call an ambulance. I'm dying here. Well, I think today's your lucky day. I cocked the 357 and a bullet fired out. As a result, his brain splattered all over the sidewalk. Holy shit, he was right, I said aloud. Unfortunately, I was in the hospital all night while the doctors sewed up my arm. I couldn't sleep. Naturally, I struggled to stay awake during the meeting at City Hall the following morning. Wake up, LP said, the mayor speaking. I sat up in the seat and took my feet off the table. LP handed me a cup of coffee. Crime has gone up 5-fold since I took office, stated Mayor Tortellini. At this rate, I won't get re-elected. The killer on the loose. What's he called? The Hillside Choker, sir, the LA police chief responded. We must stop this killer, the mayor continued, this coward, from choking again. He must be behind bars before election season next year. Then the mayor looked around the room. Does anyone here have any pressing information regarding the case? LP stood up. I do, sir, he said. The rise in crime appears to be linked to the Hillside murders. Obviously, dipshit. Does anyone here have anything else? Then I stood up. I think what LP means, Mr. Mayor, is that the Hillside Choker is motivated specifically by the rise in crime. All his victims appear to be drug dealers, thieves, pimps, prostitutes, etc. The killer might think of himself as some sort of vigilante, I said. Give me a moment here while I turn the page. And you are, asked the mayor. James told you, the mayor said. Admiral Major speaks very highly of you. He told me about your escapades in Nicaragua. Correction, sir, it was Honduras, I said. And with all due respect, Admiral Majors is the dumbest man I have ever met. Nevertheless, the mayor continued, I am deputizing you for the duration of this case. Welcome to Los Angeles Police Department. Please don't destroy the city like you did to Honduras. Thank you, sir, I said. This meeting is adjourned. LP got up and patted me on the back. It looks like we're partners now, he said. We shared a few laughs and I grabbed my coat. As I was leaving, I caught a familiar stranger glancing at me. It was the same police officer from Malibu and San Luis Obispo stalking me. He scampered off to the bathroom and I followed him in. I kicked open his stall door, and I pulled out my .357. Gotcha, asshole, I said. While sitting on the shitter, he raised his hands. You don't know what you're getting yourself into, James, he said. I cocked the gun. Well, you better tell me now, or you're taking your last shit, I said. You can't kill me here. Haven't you heard? I replied. I've been deputized. I can kill with impunity. At that moment, LP came in. Drop it, James, he said. He's not worth it. I lowered my gun. The mystery man stood up, flushed the toilet, and washed his hands. I'll be seeing you around, he said. Then he left the bathroom. Who is that guy, LP? I asked. You're in the LAPD now, James. There are some questions you just don't ask. And I'm going to conclude there. And I'll try to finish the story in the next installment of my ASMR series. This is Bo, and thank you for joining me. I will see you